What's going on, guys? My name is Chris, but you can call me Holmes, and welcome to a new video. Welcome to Season 10, welcome to Season of the Worthy. Today, we've got a new video for you, breaking down one of the new exotic weapons that have been included in the game. If you got the Season Pass, then day one, you're going to get yourself this weapon with the Season Pass package that you get right at the start. If you're playing free-to-play and you're leveling yourself up, then you'll get it at level 35. The weapon in question, the gun that we are talking about, is Tommy's Matchbook. Now, this is a solar auto rifle. This is a solar exotic auto rifle that's been added to the game. There was a few rumors back in the day when Season of the Undying was launching that there was going to be a gun that where you shot it longer, it would burn you after shooting for too long. And people thought that might have been Ariana's vow. Clearly, that's not the case. Here is the gun. We finally have it in our hands. This is the gun that they were working on, and it's very, very fun. It's a really, really cool gun to use, and we're going to talk about how the gun actually functions today. We're not actually going to go through doing like a review per se. I still have my opinions on PVE and PVP activities. I've only had a small amount of experience in those areas though, so this isn't like a definitive review. More of telling you how the gun actually works, what to keep your eyes out for, how to actually expect the gun to behave, and what you can do to kind of counter some of the negatives that come with this gun. Before we go too far into things, though, we're going to look at the perks. So we have Hammerforged Rifling, which increases your range. We've got Extended Mag for bigger magazine but slower reload speed. And we have Hand-Laid Stock, which increases your stability. There is also Heatsink, which overheat damage is reduced while not aiming down sights. So when you hit fire this gun, you receive less damage from the overheat perk that procs. And we're going to talk about overheat now. So, intrinsic traits, ignition trigger, sustained fire with this weapon overheats it, increasing damage but burning the user. So this is the perk we all heard about way back in the day, like 2 seasons ago now. But basically, when you shoot this gun for an extended period of time, it gets too hot, it starts to damage you. It will only damage your shields though. So this is the first thing you need to know. When you're firing Tommy's Matchbook, it will only deplete your shields. You can never ever, in any circumstances, deplete your actual health when firing this gun. So keep that in mind when you're shooting. Something else to keep in mind, it's not in the game just yet, I don't think, or there's another way to unlock it probably, but the catalyst for this gun actually increases the rate your actual health will regenerate when you're using overheated. So when overheated is procced, you'll regenerate health faster, which would be pretty handy if you don't have a well or a rift or anything to keep your health up. And actually helps out quite a lot. It'll make sure that your health doesn't go down. I don't know how effective that will be. But it's a cool catalyst to have. It's interesting, it's unique, it's not the stock standard like increase impact or range or reload speed or something like some of the other guns we've received. So I'm excited to see a new catalyst and a specific and unique catalyst come to this gun to complement the actual traits that it comes with. Now we're going to break down the intrinsic trait and how this actually functions and how things are activated or what procs the perk and all that kind of stuff, and what you can do to counteract the negatives of being burned by this gun. So sustained fire counts as 20 rounds or more. We're going to go do that right now, but I'm 100 rounds right now, and when I shoot off 20, you'll see that overheated actually starts. So overheated at 80 rounds, we take burn damage there. If I keep shooting, then it will deplete my shield, which you'll see right now anyway. I'll keep doing it, and you'll see my shield start to go down. And it will stop on my health. Even though I've only obviously just broken my shield, if I shoot again, you'll see that when I get to health, it won't go any further past the amount that it's already drained to. So it's nice that you can't literally kill yourself with this gun. I'm glad that they've removed that as being a possibility. So it's good to see that actually be a thing. And you saw how quickly my health went down then, and that was hip firing too. So when you're actually aiming down sights, just then when I was at a full clip, I have tested this, and when you're at a full clip of ammo in this gun, if you fire off about... I'm at Resilience 7, by the way. I'm at Tier 7 for my Resilience, so my shield's gone up about... How much percentage does that actually increase it by? Sorry. We get a 10% shield increase. Nope. No, we don't. That was Tier 8. We're at 8% shield increase for Tier 7. Now, when I fire off this gun at Tier 7, it takes me around about 75 rounds to actually deplete my shields entirely when hip firing. And comparing that to when you're aiming down sights takes about 60 rounds. And I'll do that right now anyway so you can actually see it. But there's a 15-round difference in damage between firing down sights and hip firing. So if I do this right now, you'll see as I aim down sights, we get to about 60 rounds before... Oh no, 40 rounds left before I break my shield, you see there. So it does quite a significant amount of damage when aiming down sights, as opposed to hip firing, we'll get to about 25 rounds left. And that is when my shield will actually break. So I stopped at 23 there. but there's a pretty significant difference between aiming down sights and hip firing too. Now, I'm not going to go into a full class breakdown, like individual classes, about how to survive or like keep yourself alive while using the overheated perk, because it does do quite a lot of damage. I am going to talk specifically about Warlock because I am on that and I do main that, but there are a few different things you have at your disposal to keep yourself alive. One of them being a well if you're on Dawnblade or on Solar. Putting a well down obviously will keep yourself and many of your teammates alive, and it's pretty much impossible to outdamage. It is impossible to outdamage the well in terms of firing this gun and the healing you receive. That almost is the same for a rift as well. So if I put a rift down here and fire this off now, you'll actually see that the damage I receive and the healing that I get, they almost balance each other out. It takes about a whole clip to get myself maybe about a quarter of the way down in my shield, and even then the rift finishes up healing and you're completely fine. So in terms of like your healing utilities, you're completely fine in that respect. There is also, if you're doing ad clear, you can also use things like Devour. That'll definitely keep yourself alive, but that obviously requires kills to keep it procced, and also your melee ability for Devour when that gets activated and you get a kill. They are really the biggest things that are going to keep you alive on a Warlock at least. Titan, you've got like melee. I don't know what there is for Hunter off the top of my head. I'm sorry. So if whatever you use to keep yourself alive as a Hunter, even if your teammates are shooting and you have somebody running middle tree Dawnblade and throws down like a healing grenade for you instead, that's another way to keep your friends alive. Although obviously that's only a boost in shield and overshield. Once you chew through that, you're going to be in the same situation again. So definitely continuous heal items like a Rift or a Well are going to be your best bet to keep yourself alive while using the overheated perk. Now, we've talked a lot about keeping yourself alive during the perk, but we haven't talked about what the perk actually does for you. So if we go over to Jeff, our ogre friend over here. I call him Jeff. I don't know what you guys call him, but my ogre friend is Jeff. But we do 534 for a crit and 357 per body. If we activate the perk now, you pretty much get a 50% damage increase, which is nuts. So 534 up to 1059 and 708 for crits and bodies is a lot of damage. It is a lot of damage that you get for this gun specifically versus the damage that you receive. Now, if you're putting something down like a Well or a Rift, of course, like the trade-off is it's a no-brainer. You should absolutely use this gun for the damage that you get. The one thing I don't know, because I haven't had the chance to demo it yet, is whether this gun is a good boss clearer or a good boss damaging weapon versus something that's probably best for like mages and miners as opposed to your actual bosses instead. So if anybody knows, feel free to share that in the comments. I don't actually have a team to test that out right now, but otherwise I'm sure Swetsicle who will usually have something out for like using it against Callus with like 6 people running the same gun, and I have a feeling it's going to be pretty good at doing damage to raid bosses, but time will tell. Obviously, a Well or a Rift alongside this gun is going to be your best bet to do continuous damage, but I'm intrigued to see how this goes in other spaces. Now, I'm featuring some PvE footage here because the time that I spent in PvP and the gameplay that I recorded in PvP was so bad that I don't want to share it. In PvE, though, using this gun was very, very comfortable. Using a Well or a Rift or using Devour to keep myself alive using this gun, it was very, very effective. It feels like there's a lot of synergy with this gun and the Warlock class specifically for keeping yourself alive while using this gun. With other classes, though, if you do have a Warlock in your team, whether you're running like a Nightfall or a Raid or a Nightmare or anything like that, if somebody has a Well of any kind or a Rift to keep you alive, then you've got something to make this gun worthwhile using. For PvP, on the other hand, I found myself being punished constantly for even activating the overheated perk for a moment. With the perk taking 20 rounds to activate, which is already enough to defeat an opponent, you lose health when the perk is active, you need to keep shooting to keep the perk active, and staying alive with a Rift requires staying in one place. I feel like there are many other exotics to pick from that are infinitely better than Tommy's Matchbook in PvP. Overall, I don't think this gun has a space in PvP. It's the trade-off that you receive for using this gun. Like, granted, you can melt enemies by using this gun with a Well or a Rift or something to keep yourself alive, but using this gun versus other auto rifles in the game, things like Monte Carlo, which come with a 43 clip, you get melee energy back when you kill people. I really feel this gun is going to flourish the most in PvE, and people will leave it out of PvP and probably just use it for a bit of fun. You might see it in 6v6 base, but if you're looking to go to games like Trials, for example, and competitive, where health matters significantly more, then I really don't think you're going to see this gun often in PvP at all. That pretty much wraps things up. That is my summary for the Tommy's Matchbook. Look, I've liked using the gun so far. I'm definitely going to mess around with it more in PvE. PvP, I'm pretty much done with it. I don't think I'm going to use this in PvP ever again. There are absolutely better options out there for you, and I don't recommend using this in that space compared to pretty much any other auto rifle or any other exotic that you could think of that you would prefer to use as opposed to this gun. But I hope this video has helped. If it did, feel free to give me some feedback. A thumbs up helps out a heap. YouTube algorithms are lovely these days, and things that don't have thumbs up don't get shared to other people. So your thumbs up would be extraordinarily supportive and would help me out a lot. If you like the video, of course. Until the next video, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in Destiny, and have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.